I think it's been very interesting how organizations have had to adapt the way that they operate and the way that they work, and using technology to do that. And by that, I don't just mean the way that we have this kind of meeting. I think one of the critical things for me, though, is that the technology is enabling a very transactional business. And we need to find ways of bringing back creativity into the enterprise, because enterprises are becoming very transactional. And also, particularly with new recruits into an organization without that human contact, I think we're losing that sense of belonging that people have to organizations, and how you generate a culture for the organization. So I think the ways of working have been just absolutely fantastic in terms of their innovation, but we need to carry on and move forward and manage some of those things that aren't working as well in this kind of environment. It's a really good question. And, just repeating part of the previous, the pandemic has really driven organizations to embrace new ways of doing business. And that is both in the office and in the field. And technology has facilitated that tremendously. And, the technology was available pre-pandemic, but that catalyst for change really organizations have embraced. I think organizations, particularly utilities, are quite resistant to change. And, getting over that first hurdle, once a change is identified and embraced, I think they're very, very good, or we are very good at delivering change. But it's getting it past that hurdle. And the thing that the pandemic did was create that imperative of the need to do things differently. It wasn't by choice. We could have made the same actions through choice pre-pandemic. And traditional safety processes are based on repeatability and compliance, and therefore are not very flexible to meeting the needs of individuals and changing dynamic situations. The same is true on that safety culture compliance. And a coaching culture works more constructively and is more sustainable than a penalty-based culture. A proactive safety culture, in my mind, is moving away from what happened in the past to preventing what might go wrong in the future, and where the health and safety function of the organization provides advice rather than execution in health and safety. But to achieve this, you need good data and the ability to apply intelligence to that data. I mean, one of the things that organizations have done historically is just gather more and more sheets of paper, more and more ticks in boxes. And what that doesn't do is it doesn't provide intelligence, and it doesn't provide insights in a dynamic way. It becomes separate from the use itself, and it becomes separate from the people doing the work. Whereas nowadays, what we're demonstrating with these changes in technology, in my view, is that we can get much richer data sets. And so when we talk about, the Vyntelligence platforms, we're gathering more insights in a more dynamic way, and you can analyze that data in a different way to what you originally intended. And then operations can apply those insights and improve the organization. And I think you will bring along the employees of the organization as you do that. I mean, there's an old axiom, and it still sits with me very profoundly in my career, where one of well, my chief executive at the time said, good health and safety does not cost more, it costs less. And it was a profound moment, I think, in my health and safety career, because all processes need some kind of investment. And what you don't see is the cause and effect, because it is very much a cultural thing. And in my sector, we're undergoing great change at the moment to meet the challenges of net zero by 2050 in the UK. And this is a great catalyst and therefore an opportunity for looking at things in a different way. You know, one of the challenges with health and safety in the field is visualization, and that is an area particularly where technology can help. One of the reasons people don't do the right thing is that not having a clear perception around risk and hazard and how they work. And by using technology, you can create a greater connection within the organization. That means that you can get your technical experts easier by embracing the technology. But to do that, you need leadership in the field. You need good supervision. You need to embrace the use of technology throughout the hierarchy of the organization. And I do want to come back on one of Manik's points around using the analogies around driving. So for me, one of the very strong things is they did a test a few years ago in South London where they removed the central line distinguishing between the roads, and they reduced the speed down that road by 40%. And the reason for that is the guideline in the middle of the road gives people comfort, and it gives people false comfort. By taking it away, they're more cautious and more aware of their environment and take a better approach to delivering that. So the risk is with technology enables the application of more rules, and actually to embrace the video technology allows you, I think, to take a lot of those rules away and allows you to be more intelligent in the field. And people on the front line don't want layers and layers of rules. They want to be trusted to do the job. And by increasing the connectivity, you can increase the levels of trust. I would just implore people to go and find your champions. Go and look into your organization for people that are looking for better outcomes rather than focusing on outputs. And by doing that, you will embrace the change and the utilization of the technology. I always believe, and Nigel is possibly an example counter to this, but you need owners in the business that have the problems and deal with the problems on the day to embrace the change and lead that change. And the IT departments can support that by facilitating the technology to deliver better outcomes. So I would implore people to go and find those champions that are looking for better outcomes.